Hello everyone, welcome back to Artful Mind. I'm your host Tasreen. If you're joining for the first time, then this is a space that we sit with people from the background of higher education and creativity and talk about their life, journey, experiences, and wisdom they gathered all along. And today I'm truly honored to be seated with someone who is truly remarkable in his field. Please welcome Dr. N. Subramaniam, sir. Sir is an award winning author, researcher, consultant, mentor, now living in the US. Sir has designed over 800 projects, written 26 books, published by top publishers like McGraw Hills and Oxford Press, etc. So, today we'll be talking about Sir's life journey. Please welcome. A warm welcome to you, sir. How are you doing?
Thank you, Dr. Nasreen, for inviting me today to your podcast. Good, I am doing good. Actually, it is morning for me and it is evening for you.
Right, sir. Okay. So, sir, you started your journey in IIT Madras. Your PhD you have done here, right? So,
Yeah.
how it was when you started, like back in 1970? You take us back in time and share your story, sir.
Okay. Actually, I did my BE from Tyagarajar College of Engineering, Madurai, and I completed it in 1972, and then joined College of Engineering, Gindi, for my master's. And after completing, I directly joined for my PhD at IIT Madras. And my guide was Professor Ganapati, and I did work on space structures. And based on that, I also wrote a book on space structures. So I finished it in 1977, and then continued in IIT Madras for 2 years as a postdoctoral fellow. And then I was of course, during that time only after joining IIT, I had interest in writing papers, books, and etc. To your surprise, or many people's surprise, my first book was, and also many books were on computers, programming, and Genesis. My first book was Genesis Programming and Applications, which was published by Wheeler Publishing.
Okay. But that time, internet was not even started, right? In
Yeah,
1977.
correct. Actually, at that time, we have to type everything physically and then post it to the publisher. So, especially if it is an international journal, it takes several months for it to be published.
Right.
Because we have to send it by post, and we may not know whether he received it or not. And then one fine morning, there will be a packet saying that these are the comments on your paper, etc. So it was very tough. Not like today. Today, if you send now, immediately I will get a reply that your paper has been received.
Right. So life was so different back then.
Yeah. And also, one more interesting thing is that my PhD thesis was on three-dimensional analysis of structures. Space structures means three-dimensional structures. It is not connected with space rockets and all. So three-dimensional analysis, for which I require a lot of space in the computer, because I have to solve using matrix methods of analysis several equations at the same time. And of course, we had a IBM 360 at that time, and I had to punch cards for it to be submitted to the computer center. And also, since I was occupying more space, I have to stand in the queue early in the morning. So even before the institute starts, we will be standing. Those people who are requiring a lot of space, we will be standing in the queue in the computer center. And as soon as they open, because they will be giving some color coded cards so that they will know. So yellow color, of course, at the top of the card, there will be yellow color, red color, and so on. So that shows that it will require a lot of space, a lot of time, etc. So, and also those cards will be minimum in number. So you cannot. That is why we are going early and then giving the cards. And I don't know whether you are exposed to card machine. So, there will be a deck consisting of 500, 600 cards, and they have to feed it inside the computer center. And sometimes what will happen? It's a mechanical system, no. So sometimes some cards will jump, and they will simply put a rubber band and then give. So it will be a headache to arrange them again and then give it to them. It was a very bad. It will be a very bad experience.
Right.
And then
So,
once we give, probably in the afternoon or so, we will get back the card with the printed message. It can be an error, because we are using Fortran, and there can be error. It's a simple error or complex errors. So then we have to do it and then submit it only the next day. So it is not like in the computer itself, tuck, tuck, like that we cannot do.
right. So while growing up, you always wanted to be do with the computer, or you had some other plans before?
Uh, because it was three-dimensional analysis, I had to use the computer. And since I used the computer, and I found that I used to be in the library rest of the time. So even the librarian at IIT Madras was friendly with me because I was spending more time in the library, and I found that many books that were there in the library on computer languages were written by foreign authors, no Indian author. Probably my book was the first book on basic programming or even computers. One of the first books published in India. So actually, I wrote in that first book. I wrote on Fortran, Basic, and Cobol. So those are the things that were famous at that time.
Mm-hmm. Right. And how was your time when you went to Germany?
Germany.
Yes, sir.
Right. Actually, after doing my postdoctoral work at that time, my guide, who was also a Humboldt Fellow, so he recommended my name. Actually, it is not only recommendation because that Alexander von Humboldt Foundation is a very tough process to get a fellowship there. It's a postdoctoral fellowship.
Right.
They will only select people below 40 years of age. It is because some of the people from India who went there died. So that is why they don't want. They did not want to take risk, and then allowed only people below 40. And then based on my international publications only, they will select. It is an international committee which will, I think, they will meet every 6 months or so, and then select people internationally. And that it's a very great foundation. Not because I was invited. Uh, Actually, in that internal fellowship, main people who were coming are from science, that is physics, chemistry, and all. Engineers, I think, were only 12%. So in that, civil engineering will be much less. So,
Right.
and also the main criteria is you should have a PhD, you should have international publications, and it is not necessary that you should work in a particular field. It can also be in painting, poetry, say, English, like that. So it is such a fellowship. And then first time I went in a plane to go to Germany. So of course, at that time there was no international flight from Chennai. So I had to go to Mumbai, and from Mumbai I had to take a flight to Frankfurt.
So
And
it
then,
was during 80s.
sorry,
It was during 80s, right? If
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not wrong.
yeah. And then one more thing is that in Germany now people are speaking in English, but at that time people were only talking in German language. So I had no knowledge about German language. So I had probably 1 month in German institute in Chennai, but it was not enough. But so they gave me free 2 months language course. So I landed in Frankfurt, and from there took a train to Freiburg. That is a beautiful place, which is also having an university, and it was in the border of Switzerland, Germany, and France. So that is a university town. So there was a Goethe Institute. So Goethe is a big poet there. So all these language courses were conducted in Goethe Institute. So there I had 2 months, um, what do you call, German language course. That it is called as Einkauf Deutsch. Einkauf means to buy. So if you go to a shop, you should know how to ask what is the price, what is it, and all. So like that, I had a Einkauf Deutsch course. Actually, there were Grundstufe 1, Grundstufe 2, Grundstufe 3. So like that, step 1, step 2, step 3. So I joined in step 1, and then my professor from there, he contacted me and asked whether everything is okay. So I finished my 2 months course, and then I wanted to have 2 more months. I asked for extension of the language course. Actually, the good thing about Alexander von Humboldt Foundation is that they paid for the language course also. So of course, though it was not equivalent to the research period, it was slightly lesser than that, just to manage my living there.
Right. Yeah. Since I am from Assam and now I am doing job in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, so I'm also learning little bit of Tamil as well, so that if I go to shop, I can at least make them understand. But in workplace, there is no problem because everyone speaks English.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
even in work, nobody speaks in German in those days.
Okay.
Even after I went to my university after 4 months, only my professor, of course, though he has written papers in English, he was finding it very difficult to speak with me in English. So he will start something, and then so he was looking like that, and I had to give him the word.
Mm-hmm. Also, sir, like when I was going through your profile, I saw that you have designed over 800 projects.
Yeah.
And I just want to share that yesterday only I got a rejection mail from a funding agency that I submitted a project. And when I was scrolling the LinkedIn, I saw like many other new faculty because it was an early career grant. So some people who are in a place better than me, they also got rejection mail without any comments. So people were sharing their thoughts that it is really frustrating because if you get the feedback, you can improve. So as someone, you have done so many projects. If any projects went wrong, how you used to come back? Because sometimes it is demotivating, right? So what was your thought process if you get the rejection during your early career days?
Actually, before explaining that, so after completing my research, actually it was given for 1 year, and I extended it for another 6 months. And then I came back to India, and at that time at Anna University, I had applied for assistant professor post, and Professor Swami, who was the vice chancellor at that time, he was kind enough to give me assistant professor post, and I was there only for 4 months, and then I started on my own. So
Okay.
my consulting firm. Of course, getting projects was very difficult, of course, unless you know someone. So my father was a joint director of industries. So he introduced to some people in Tansi. That is, there is a government company. I don't think it is now. It is there. So they initial period they gave one or two projects, and then after that I used to get projects. I used to talk in institution of engineers and other places to get myself acquainted with people, and also I joined a lot of associations like institution of engineers, association of consulting engineers, Indian Concrete Institute, and so on. And I started to write papers and also meeting people, etc. And then trying to get projects. Of course, one more thing is that I brought a small computer with me when it is not a desktop computer. It's a small like this only, a small computer from Germany. I forgot the name of the computer, small one. Since I have worked on computers already, it was not difficult for me to develop programs on that computer. And then I also started an institute for teaching basic Fortran. And then at that time, whatever was available, so on those things. And then I bought the first computer. It is Aptron S80 computer. It was having only 64K. And I was the first person in India, maybe in Chennai, maybe in India also, to have an in-house computer. So at that time, if you want to go inside a computer, you have to remove your shoes uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then go. It is
Go
not like,
also. Yes.
yeah. So using that computer, I developed programs for the analysis, design, etc. And using that, we used to design. And of course, I recruited some people, design engineers, draftsmen, etc. And at that time, once again, drawing was done on drawing board, not on AutoCAD, because at that time AutoCAD was not available. So, so we will design using computer and then draw using the draftsman will draw whatever hand sketches we make. They will draw, and I will check and then release it to the people.
Okay. So even at this age, also you are still active, still contributing. How you manage your time? Because I'm tired sometimes even at this age. So how do you do? Like, what is your day look like?
Okay. Uh, of course, I had my company for 25 years, and due to some personal reasons, I had to come to USA. And then I started writing books based on my experiences. So most of my time I am spending on writing books, papers, research papers based on my experience, etc. And then reading. Since I am a member of the American Society of Civil Engineers and also in the American Concrete Institute, Indian Concrete Institute, and so on, I get journals. Some of them online, some of them on paper as print. So I go through them, read them, and read a lot of research papers because in order to write, you have to read a lot of material.
Right, right. Also, like now, like we grow up with so much information, as you shared, right? That time there was no internet. You were the first one to have the computer in Chennai or maybe in India. But now we are growing up with so much information. And uh, do you think that, of course, it has advantage and disadvantage as well. We get everything at our fingertip, but that makes us lazy also. I myself also keep pushing things to the deadline. So same happens with almost all the people nowadays. So what is that one thing that worries you about this time?
Yeah, you have to fix some time. And of course, you have to devote time for your family also and personal
Right.
things, and also your technical. So, for you have to devote a fixed time for doing research. So, my wife usually complain, you only at 9 o'clock you will start your day. So, because in the night there will not be any disturbance,
Mm,
to read, to write, etc. Whereas in daytime, some friends come, we have to go for walking, and so many things happen.
mm,
So you have to devote a certain time and sit and then
mm.
do the work.
So you always have some fixed timing to do the work,
Yeah,
right?
and
Interesting.
also I attend some webinars, uh,
Mm,
because AAC and all, they are conducting some webinars on
mm,
latest topics, but we cannot attend all. I select some of them and then attend.
mm. Also, I got to know like a few minutes back that you paint also.
Yeah,
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
that was my
So
painting.
you started this new hobby, or you always
No,
loved it?
one lady here, Indian,
Mm-hmm.
she told that I am starting a class. Are you attending? I just attended out of curiosity. Both of us
Mm-hmm.
attended. So
Okay.
we painted this.
Right, okay. So, okay, I just want to ask you one last question. Like, if you could have gone back in time and you think that you could do something differently during your 30s, what do you think you will do differently at that time?
I think
Maybe not as a,
I would
maybe
not
not
have changed because
okay.
even during my BE, at the time I attended a 5 year course. So that was a integrated course, it was called. So I was the last person to pass out of that integrated course, and after that the semester system started. So at this that is a 5 year course. In first 2 years it will be common to all, and then our third year onwards we have to select the uh, what is called subject, that is civil,
Specialization.
mechanical, electrical.
Okay.
So my father, he was a mechanical engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I got good marks in civil engineering, so my college gave me civil engineering. So my father came and met my principal also to and asking me to change my subject to mechanical engineering. And
Okay.
I stubbornly said no. I will study only civil engineering. So even at that time, I selected my own course of action. So
Okay.
I think that I did a good thing, because
Mm-hmm.
after that only I got interest in civil engineering and then started to read, write, etc. And at the time there were 60 people in civil engineering, I think, and only 8 people or 8 or 12 people passed, and I was one among them with first class degree.
Okay, that's amazing. For me also, like I didn't get medical entrance. I couldn't qualify medical entrance by 1 mark. And after that, I joined chemistry, like BSc chemistry. I joined, and I just went to the college for 2 days. Then I just dropped out, and I then decided that okay, I'll go for biotechnology. But my parents, they wanted me to do chemistry with zoology and those subjects, but I'm like, no,
Oh,
I will not do. Right.
good, good. Actually, my brother, immediate brother, he was interested in medicine, or my father asked him to do medicine since I am doing engineering, because
Mm-hmm.
his brother was a doctor and he was an engineer. So
Okay.
like that, he wanted to send him to medicine. He read zoology, isn't it? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
at the time PUC was there,
Okay.
pre-university. So in
Right,
that
right.
he took zoology,
Mm.
and then he could not get medicine, and finally he became a lawyer.
Okay.
Of course,
Right.
uh, so he did masters also in lawyer.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Of
Anything
course,
you want to?
as I told you, I was also not interested in teaching. So though I was there in Anna University for 4 months, somehow I wanted to do my own design. So that's why I left Anna University assistant professor post and started on my own.
Hmm. Right. Okay, sir. Anything you want to share so that our listeners can take away from your life, your journey?
So my advice to many people who are upcoming students or who engineers or others, you please spend time in upgrading your knowledge, because nowadays there are hundreds of universities and lot of new information is coming rapidly. In those days, 10 years work is now done in 1 year by different people. So, and it is easy to get information also through WhatsApp and internet, etc. So you upgrade, join some professional associations, attend the lectures, and many people are many things are online also. So attend webinars so that your knowledge is improved, and select some area and become an expert in that area instead of getting a wide knowledge. It is also necessary, but don't concentrate on wide knowledge, but concentrate on specialist knowledge so that you will be sought after by many people.
Right. Yes, sir. Truly. Thank you so much, sir, for
Thank you
joining
very
me
much.
today. Thank you so much. We are in a time that everyone rush into things like we rush into success, a new thing. So from your journey, I think I will take away this thing that to become curious, staying humble, and showing up every day for the work with a genuine purpose is all that we need to do. And then success will take care of themselves. So, and to the people listening, thank you so much for joining. And if you could share, it will be a boost for this baby channel so that I can bring more people. And thank you so much, sir. Thank you
You
once
are welcome.
again.
Take care. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir.